Hello everybody. So here we are. This is my what I am sowing and growing for February 2024 video. I've got myself set up here nicely. I have my computer in front of me, which I'm going to scroll through. That gives me a lot more detailed information of what I sow. This is where I take things out and put things in. I have my little notebook in front of me here. I've got my moon phase gardening book here, and I have my seeds. Okay, so let's go. So February is an exciting time because the light levels increase quite dramatically and everything starts growing again. So by the end of February, you might have things going to seed or bolting because they just, whew, this is what happens. All right, so let's start. I'm going to give you an idea of what moon phase days I will be sowing on. So remember, this is just my sowing for the month, not my transplanting and weeding and maintenance, everything. They're my weekly videos that I continue to give to you. Just sowing, and also the varieties that I sow and why I sow these varieties. So yes, I'll give you a little idea of what moon phase days I will be sowing these on. That's why my book is here. So I'm going to start from the beginning. The 1st and the 2nd of February, this week coming. So if you saw my weekly heads up of what's coming this week, are both roots days on the moon phase calendar. So I'm going to start my germination test for my onions. Onion seeds don't last for long. You'd be lucky if you get one year, 12 months, 18 months out of them. And then they start to deteriorate. So if you do want to sow onions and you want to sow a lot of onions like we do, then you need to do a germination test on your seeds, or make sure that your seeds are really, really fresh. So I am going to do germination test on 2 types of onion. They're the red onion that I grow. The first one is Red Baron. That's a stock standard red onion that is grown here in the UK. It's a very, very good one. It's very reliable. The second one is one called Karmen. I get my seeds from mold seeds because I've got a lot of seeds in here. They usually sell per how many grams? They're a fantastic company. I am only going to do 20 cells of these seeds, but I am going to multi-sow 6 seeds per cell. So if they all germinate, yay, I'm really, really happy. But if they don't, it doesn't matter, because I'll then know that I need to get fresher seed. I'll just eat these onions as spring onions, and they are really delicious. Red onions eaten as spring onions. You can eat any onion as a spring onion if you don't let it bulb up. So that's my first thing. The next root I'm going to sow on those dates is my second lot of radish. And they are Scarlet Globe this time. The first time was Cherry Bell. They're in the greenhouse. They're ready to transplant out this week. So I've got 2 trays of those. Now I'm going to start to up the amount that I grew. I've got 25 of those. This time I am going to sow 40 cells, and I'm going to do 4 seeds per cell. So that's my Scarlet Globe radish. That's going to go in. And then I should get a nice harvest of those by the end of March. So that's that. Okay, so the 3rd of February, and I'm going to also say the 11th of February, because that's when I'm going to sow, but the 3rd of February as well are both flowers days. Now, if you want to have a lovely cauliflower in the summer, we eat brassicas all year round. So I'm always growing cabbages, cauliflowers, all that kind of business all year round. And if you just don't want them in the winter and you want to have a really nice cauliflower in the summer, then I highly recommend, again, I haven't got a photo, but you've seen me put this up before. I highly recommend the Graffiti. It's an F1. It's a purple cauliflower. It's very special, really, really special. And because it is special, I'm doing an extra little sowing now. I'm only going to sow 4, that's all, because I've already got some in the greenhouse that are ready to go out. I usually sow most of my brassicas, my main crop brassicas, in March, but this one is quite special, so I'm going to do that. 4 of those, but I'm going to do it on the 11th because I'm away. Right, okay, let's keep going. Next, we have Leaves Day coming up. Leaves Day are on the 4th and the 5th of February. So for my leaves, I am going to start, I usually do these a little bit later, but I didn't have a great deal of luck this year with these because of the weather. So I'm going to put them in a month earlier, and I'm going to do Scarlets. This is a German packet, so that's why it says Rosenkohl. And I love Scarlets. So they're a cross between a kale and a Brussels sprout. They are absolutely gorgeous. They're a real delicacy. Again, if you want to sow and grow something that is just not sold anywhere, might be able to get these in Waitrose, but I don't know, then these are the ones to do. So I'm going to be doing 6 of these. You get quite a lot per plant, so I'll be doing 6 of those. I also am going to put in some red cabbage for the summer. We eat red cabbage all year round, and I like to have it in the summer. So there are, let me just have a look here. My seeds haven't come yet. I've just ordered some more of these seeds. The first one that I really like, which is a really, really early red cabbage, is one called Red Iodero, Iodero. It's an F1. And actually, I wonder if it's Lodero. Well, anyhow, I'll write it on the bottom. I'll have to have a look. I can't really remember. I'm going to do 4 of those. I'm also going to do 4 red Drumhead, which is like your stock standard red cabbage. And I'm also going to do my favorite, which is red Fuego. That is a fantastic red cabbage. I absolutely love it. And again, 4 of those. The other cabbage that I'm going to do is a Savoy, because I do like a Savoy cabbage. I like it better than just the normal white cabbage. And this one is a very, very early maturing Savoy. It's called Preludium. I got it from Dobie's. It's an another F1 Preludium. Here's my red Drumhead. Those there. And again, I'm going to do 4 of those as well. So that's my leaves for that. Now I start my spinach. So I do 2 lots of spinach sowing in February. Oh, it's another red Drumhead. Okay, let's go. Oh, and here's the Fuego. I have got some Fuego. I've just ordered some more Fuego as well. That's great. Okay, so now I start my spinach. Like I said, I do 2 sowings. At this time of February, right at the beginning, which is going to be the 4th and the 5th, I do 20 cells and I do 2 seeds per cell. And again, I don't have pictures for these, sorry folks, but you know, a spinach is a spinach. The first one that I like to sow at this time of the year, which is really delicious, is a variety called Santa Cruz. Again, I got it from molds because, again, I've got 10,000 seeds here, but I grow a lot of these. So Santa Cruz is the first one. That's an F1. And the second one that I grow is Rubino. And Rubino is the red, it's like a red veined spinach. It is absolutely delicious. We really love it. It's great for cooking. It's great for salads. It's just great. Again, I've got lots of seeds here from molds. And so I'm going to do 20 cells and I'm going to do 2 seeds per cell. Okay. Then next we go on to Fruits Days. Fruits Days are the 7th and the 8th of February. Okay, now this is my third sowing of chilies and sweet peppers. So, and then I've got one more at the end of the month. And I am going to sow again my Lemon Dream, the little ditty yellow one that I talk about all the time. I'm going to do some Lemon Dream. I'm going to do the Bright Star as well, which is the orange one. So I'm going to do that. I am going to do Akron, which is the red one that I really like, a thick-fleshed red one. And then I've just ordered my seeds of the next two that I add into the mix, and they are New Ace. They're a thin-fleshed variety, very nice for salads, and Red King. So they're my other ones that I'm going to add, and I am only going to sow 3 of each. That's it. I'm going to do the pre-germinated on the kitchen towel, and I'm going to be doing 3 of each because I've already got some. And then I do my last sowing at the end of February, which we will get to in a minute. The other thing that I'm going to start doing, so I've been eating pea shoots in the winter, and my pea shoots that I grew were from my anubis seeds that I got from Mr. Fothergill's. They were nice, very, very nice. But I'm going to do another sowing of pea shoots, and this time I'm going to sow sugar peas because the pea shoots on these are just gorgeous. And then I'll probably plant, I was thinking I might plant them out, eat the shoots from them, and then when I get sick of that, I'll just let them grow, and they can end up just being lovely sugar snap peas. So I'll grow quite a few of those, maybe over 30, I would think. So that is my fruits of peas. The other, I've got one more pepper that I'm going to do 3 of, and that is the Giallo pepper as well. So 3 of those ones as well. And okay, now we start. I do my first sowing of tomatoes now at the beginning of February. And I only grow at the beginning of February the tumbling tomatoes, okay? Let me just have a look here at my thing so I haven't missed anything. Yeah, it's what I call my first early sowing. And it's half of my first early sowing of tomatoes. They're going to start off here in the house, then I will move them into the greenhouse later on. And I love this variety called Red Profusion. It's an F1. It's a fantastic variety. You can buy them. Again, I got them from Moles because I use quite a lot of seeds, and I've got 100 seeds in here. But you can get them in other places as well. It is fantastic variety. I am going to put in 8 of these. So that's my first sowing of tomatoes. This year, my tomato sowing has been cut right down. No fancy schmancy tomatoes at all. I'm just sick and tired of putting all the effort in and not getting what I want from them, because I'm after taste and I'm after quantity as well. It's because I use them a lot. Not only do we eat them, I mean, I don't eat raw tomato, but Mr. N eats them, but I use them a lot for cooking and preserving as well. So that is the 7th and the 8th of February, fruits days. Next, now we go on to roots days. So roots days are the 8th and the 9th. So we go over from the 8th, half a day is fruits, and then we go to roots. So 8th and 9th are roots days. And now I start my potatoes. So I've got my spuds here, still in the bags because I don't chip, really, at all. I have my spuds here, and I've also got ones that I've saved as well. So those ones are Swift, and the ones that I save are Scarlet. And I always start my potatoes in small pots. Let me have a look what I've got me up here. I haven't got me up here. This size here, let me have a look. This size here is about, it's just a little bit bigger than that size. And that's how I start my potatoes. So I put a potato in per pot. I start them inside, and then once they're ready and they get going, they then get transplanted. These are what I call my super, super early potato crops. And I do successions of these. And when I'm just having a look at what I say about how I do these, because I have to go and... Yeah, so they usually take about 3 to 4 weeks to get anything happening, and then I transplant them later on. That's how I do my spuds. And so I am doing 4 Swift, 4 Charlotte. Those are my potatoes that I'm starting. Swift, I absolutely love because it's so fast. You get very, very early harvests. Not the best tasting potato in the world, but you're getting fresh potatoes, new potatoes. Charlotte, every year. Charlotte is a great tasting potato. It's a waxy potato. You use it for salads. You use it for just eating with butter. It is absolutely fantastic. Love Charlotte. Would not be without it. Right, the other route that I am going to start off on the 8th and the 9th are my shallots. So I do 2 types of growing of shallots. I do sets, and I also do seeds. And the seeds are coming up in about 10 days' time. I'll tell you about those. So the sets that I do all the time are Golden Gourmet and Red Sun. And I plant them just in little modules, as I do with my red onions that I've shown you before in the greenhouse. They're doing really well. So they go in the modules. I'm going to do about 40 of each in the modules. And that's my first lot of planting of shallots. I always do them now. Okay, next. So, I might actually stop the video here and then we will continue the second half. Yeah, let's do that.